At this juncture, what is the greatest threat to America's future? Is it a domestic threat? Is it an international threat? Is it both? I know that's a big picture question, but tackle it.
I think it's domestic, but it includes everything. I think we've entered a period of time where those in charge are really nihilists, and they accept it as a philosophy, and which means that they do not know right or wrong. They don't even have the vaguest idea what a higher law means. And there was a time when the majority of the people do. I still think a lot of people don't understand the higher law. You know, you're not supposed to be on a personal level lie, cheat, steal, or kill. That's pretty good. It's been around for many, many years. It's very fundamental, but we don't have it anymore. So I would say that we'd have to get the majority of people to understand the need to understand and follow, a higher law. At the same time, accept the fact that nihilism is very, very bad, because nihilism teaches, and it's precise, it's what produces Marxism and the cultural Marxism, rather the old Marxism, is that you don't know truth. Why do you guys worry about this? You don't know truth, and I'd admit, I have to struggle and read and study and try to figure out and search for truth. But it's the searching for truth, that it exists, that makes a big difference. But a nihilist, when I think of some of the clowns that I had to work with in Washington, they were difficult to work with because they weren't open to that. And just like the friend you just talked to about, me being an isolationist, if you want to find an isolationist, look to the interventionist and look at all this stuff that we have done. We're the biggest intervening overseas, but our side believes in free markets, free trade, and travel, and all of these things. But now they're intimidated. They want to close our borders and regulate and put on sanctions on everybody. So I think the free market libertarian groups are not far from isolationism, because it's isolationism that we're working toward. Just think of how it's happened in these last few years. But I think it's not following the one rule that the founders said, don't get involved in these international groups. Because once you do that, you lose your sovereignty, and that's what we do. So this war, I was reading something today, and they had the right title on. This is a war between NATO and Russia, and I agree with that. And we think we need it. And if we were a little more isolationist, what the guys call it, we wouldn't be over there losing another war. Wouldn't it have been great if all the killings since World War II that occurred without a declaration of war, if they had not done that, how many millions of people would be living, Americans as well as foreigners that we bombed and killed? No, it's this whole notion is really pretty silly, that the people who were over there, why were we called? He called me an isolationist because I worked diligently to try to stop us going into Afghanistan and into Iraq and Iran and all this stuff. And what did it come from? After 20 or 40 years we've been doing this, and it's all building up to that bankruptcy that they're trying to deal with. And right now, they don't have the courage to do what they have to do, and it would mean you'd have to cut spending.
Roger Stone did nothing wrong. They want to get me like I'm Roger Stone. They want to get me like I'm Roger Stone. They want to frame me like I'm Roger Stone. They want to frame me like I'm Roger Stone.